Are you actually the hero of your own story? We believe that we are the agent in charge of our lives, that we do create this hand to move, that no one else planted these ideas into our head. And yet, we are swimming in a world full of information. We are swimming in a world full of people telling us what to do or inspiring us to do stuff or modeling, blueprinting how to do, how to be funny, how to socialize, how to act, how to speak. And we are imitating animals. We are social animals. We learn from our environment. So, do we indeed have free will? Are we actually the hero of our own story? Well, last week we talked about claiming our attention, claiming our ability to focus, claiming our ability to unfocus or detach from the pattern of the environment around us, detach from the screens kind of primarily, but detach from that swimming of information that is always around us and just being able to come back to our breath and how empowering that is. Great, now you've learned a skill, but the question is, are you the hero of your own journey? And the real question, and the deciding factor in that, is are you choosing discomfort or comfort? Because there is no way of exercising free will. There is no way of asserting yourself into the world without it being uncomfortable. There's two ways that this happens. One is you're putting something out into the world. You are forcing it into the world somehow. And you are being receptive to how that's being received. Because it's easy to be stubborn and just say, this is my will to power. I'm going to be a tyrant. I need this. I must have. You must obey. You must follow. Why doesn't the world operate the way I want it to? No, it has to be discomfort, where you do put something out into the world. You do try to manifest. You do try to visualize and actualize, and you do try to motivate yourself into action, out of thought, into action. But also remaining sensitive, which isn't so easy and is uncomfortable because it means you care about how the world then responds, which can be painful, can be sad, can cause grief. This great idea I thought I had, this great company, this great friendship, this great romantic relationship, this great idea of like research or something like that. It was great. I put it into the world and geez, I can try and shoehorn it in. I can try and force it and try and make it so that I don't have to adjust, so that I don't have to be sensitive to how it's being received and adjust and then put something else out into the world, adjust it slightly, move again, adjust slightly, go again, and always being receptive. That is not a comfortable state. 2, some part of me, some part of us doesn't want to do it. Some part of us wants to just relax. And some part of us wants to have ambition and drive. So no matter which one you're doing, you have a left and a right hemisphere, you have a fight or flight and a rest and digest nervous system. You are a being of two halves. You are a yin and a yang. So no matter what you're doing, if you are putting something out into the world, you are suppressing the other side. So again, that is discomfort in the fact that you have to remain sensitive to that also. I'm pushing down my laziness. I'm pushing down my need to rest. I'm pushing down my sensitivity to this other stuff that's going on, all so that I can chase this research, chase this relationship, chase this ambition, like whatever it is, do the chase thing. But also staying sensitive to this part where, hey, by the way, I really need to rest. Hey, by the way, I need time to process what's going on. Hey, by the way, whatever it is. Or alternatively, you are choosing to rest. You're just like, do you know what? I'm claiming my day today. This is my day. And all of those drives and ambitions and that momentum, just no, we're not doing it today. We're having like a family day or a self-care day or just a rest day. Whatever it is, it's earned. I get it. No problem at all. Just rest. And you're going to have to stay sensitive to that. I want to do something for fun. Not because I have to, not because of duty, not because I want to, but like I'm having a rest day. I kind of want to do a bit of art, do a bit of music, go for a run, hang out with friends, whatever it is, and be able to enjoy it. Because if I force the rest and just like, no work, no anything, it's like forcing meditation. It doesn't work. You can do hard meditation where you just say like, spotlight, and any shape that comes in, get out, spotlight on the breath, spotlight on the breath, spotlight on the breath. That's not meditation. Because you're not befriending the process. That doesn't train the muscle. That you don't have access to that then when you're in your life. The reason you've access to meditation when you're out in your life is because you're recognizing the shapes and you're letting them go. And it's this very flowy motion, and you're just welcoming and letting go, welcoming and letting go, or recognizing, acknowledging and letting go. So, the question is, are you in charge of your own life? Are you the hero of your own journey? Truly, are you the hero of your own journey? Are you able to detach from this wave that we're all swimming in? Everyone in the world is connected to a lot of information. Whether that's just simply social, like we're in a town, we're all clustered in together way tighter than we ever have been before on a human scale, like a humanity scale. But also we have the access to the internet and every bit of fact and information and drama and insight and just everything all of the time. So like, what's your diet like? How much junk commercial kind of media are you taking in? How much academic and informative media are you taking in? All of these things, I get it, diet matters, but taking ownership first matters. Being able to just say, nope, I'm practicing this muscle of coming back to myself, which we did last week. And this week, are you choosing discomfort? Because Nietzsche, if you'll allow me 1 minute to quote a philosopher, said that God is dead. He's the great 19th century philosopher. And we haven't really answered his question. That's kind of where we're stuck at. It's called nihilism. It is this thing of why bother? Every perspective is kind of equal, or the way that we operate is just power struggles between each other. That might not be like a conscious conversation you're having, but if you watch politics, that's very much the conversation that's happening there. If you watch any drama channels and stuff like that, like who's the better storyteller, who has the power, like that matters. All of that. We haven't answered his questions, really. We haven't come up with a good answer that we all kind of are motivated by, that we're all captured by. So we're stuck with his questions. And he was terrified of the last man. He said that we would choose comfort to the end. Or at least if we did, that the world would die. Because eventually we would choose comfort at the expense of some part of nature, some part of the environment. And we're well down the track for that. And we're all doing it in ways that we're not even separated enough from the problem to see just how much we're participating in that problem. But that we would go further and we would choose comfort over the people that we don't know, perhaps the people out in different countries. We're doing that because there is this immigration, there is this climate change, there is going to be immigration due to climate change in the next decade, and all of that stuff. That's their problem, not ours. He said that we would go further and we would choose comfort over the sake of our friends or our neighbourhoods, perhaps. We're doing that. We're choosing the comfort of our couch, our TV screens, our isolated homes over the discomfort of trying to figure each other out, trying to come into community, trying to negotiate with the people around us of what fun we could have together, what potential we could offer each other. Instead, how do we choose this comfort of keeping ourselves to ourselves, minding our own business, and having freedom and privacy in that. He said we would go further and we would choose comfort over family. We're doing that. No one's having kids anymore. No one wants family anymore. So we are choosing our own comfort over family. There is a population collapse coming in the next however long. It just means that there's less people having kids, so you get more people retiring, less people being born, which economically is a problem. And that eventually, and the terrifying end, would be that we would choose comfort over the other last man. That there would be just one human left. And they're crying out for attention. They're crying out for something. And maybe it's a big ask. Maybe they're demanding all of your food. Maybe they're demanding like half of your water. Maybe they're really demanding something. And that we would choose comfort instead of trying to ensure that humanity went on, instead of trying to ensure that we had a bit of companionship, instead of trying to ensure that that there was something bigger than just us, that we would choose comfort and we would let the other die, and there would be one last man, because we all chose comfort every time. That was Nietzsche's horror story. That was his terrifying character. And his answer to this was Zarathustra. If you're into reading a slightly difficult book that's written in a fun way, I'd recommend you read Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Break it up, read it a chapter at a time. But it's good, it's worth reading. But his character was, I'll do it anyway. I might not feel like it, but I'll do it anyway. The world isn't welcoming it, but I'm going to try it anyway. And not in the way that is arrogant and forcing it out into the world, and not in the way that is suppressing and hiding oneself and just performing, but in a way that is recognizing the discomfort within oneself and moving forward despite it, and still being sensitive to the suffering of that paradox. And same, putting it out into the world and allowing the world to judge. He used the example of humanity. Every iteration, every human you can think is walking along a tightrope, and not every human is going to survive to the far end. But it is only by so many falling off. It is only by so many making the mistakes and showing the ones behind how to move forward. And this just spirit that carries everyone across, that humanity itself would get carried across. Even though there would be the natural suffering of life, of grief, of sadness, of mistakes. But this was this was his will to power. Put oneself, one's desires, one's wants, one's life energy out into the world and allow it to be judged and be sensitive to that. Yes, I am. And there is some part of me that is, as long as I breathe, I am. And yet I am water, like Bruce Lee said. I am flexible. I'm able to adapt. I will find the way. Not the destination, but I will find the way of catching the air in my sails, or whatever analogy you want to use there. All to say, are you choosing discomfort? It's not easy. And I don't mean choosing discomfort just doing hard things. I mean discomfort in staying sensitive. That is a world of difference. So yes, do your ice baths. Yes, do your waking up at 5 a.m. Yes, do your gym workouts. Yes, do all of these whatever body optimization, your infrared saunas, your endurance sports. Yes to all of it. Everything that's a challenge. Everything says you got an achievement. Everything that helps you build the relationships with other people. Everything that helps you contribute to something bigger than yourself. Yes, take it all on. Yes, and stay sensitive to how the environment is responding to you. Stay sensitive to how your spirit, how your soul, how your yin and your yang is calling to you That is the true discomfort that you need to lean into. You can be a hyperachiever and be super depressed and still burn the world down. So, that's what I'm going to leave you with this week. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're looking forward to the week to come. Sending lots of love your way. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.